Welcome everyone to this Binance Live AMA. We are glad to have Dexaran from Dex223 join us today. And as a reminder to everyone listening, please do well to stay tuned with Dex223 on all social medias by joining their social medias and staying up to date with them. You can either visit their Telegram group or Telegram channel or Twitter page as well. So, without wasting further time, let's go into details. Let's begin with some introduction. Let's have you introduce yourself and other team members of the Dex223 and tell us what it's all about.
Okay, I would say that I mostly have a security background. Before joining the crypto industry, I worked with software security development in traditional companies. And at the early days of Ethereum, I joined its community, and I was one of the first smart contract developers there. I was involved in Ethereum Classic development when the DAO got hacked, and Ethereum split it into Ethereum led by Ethereum Foundation and the Ethereum Classic led by the community. I was founder of one of the development teams of Ethereum Classic. And after Ethereum Classic, I founded Callisto Network. This is a layer 1 chain and its subdivision called Callisto Security Department. This is a security auditing organization. We have performed more than 400 security audits, and we mostly have security background. I was researching the possibility of creation of decentralized exchange for Ethereum Classic back in 2017, and I was involved in the process of Ethereum token standards development, like ERC20, the most common standard, and I discovered a security flaw in this standard, and right now I'm trying to solve it and introduce an alternative ERC223 token standard that I developed 6 years ago, but right now I'm trying to push it into adoption. And we are building the ecosystem for this new standard, because in 2023, the security flaw of ERC20 that I discovered earlier and reported to Ethereum Foundation caused more than $100 million financial damage to the users of Ethereum Foundation, caused more than $100 million financial damage to the users of Ethereum ecosystem. And it's now evident that the industry needs safer token standards, and this is what we are building right now. So we are building the ERC223, the ecosystem for this token standard, and the exchange that can provide the required toolchains for new token developers and those who want to trade ERC223 tokens. So this is what it's all about.
All right, that's good. Thank you for that. So let's talk about some unique features of Dex223 now. Can you tell us about them, and are there any special features that makes it stand out from others out there in the space?
Yes, obviously the main feature is the support of different token standards, for instance ERC223, because it offers security advantages over ERC20, but it is evident that users will not just migrate to a new exchange because it supports some new token standard, and it needs to have some advantages over competitors. So we have margin trading support and the auto listing process, I would call it. Those are our 3 advantages. I can go into further details, or should we leave it for later?
All right, that sounds good. So moving on now, let's talk about your tokenomics. Are there any special things there? Give us detailed information about it, the utilities, how it works in the ecosystem.
We have the native token of our platform. It's called D223. This token has fixed token supply. So after the token is deployed, and it's already deployed on Ethereum mainnet, there will be no new tokens created. This token offers no staking possibility, but it has two main utilities. One is the governance of the platform, and the other is the revenue distribution. As we are building the decentralized exchange, it can charge fees from any on-platform trades, and a share of this fee goes to liquidity providers, and another share can go to fund the revenue streams of the token holders. And the governance is also one of the utilities of the G223 token. Some variables in the contract and in the auto listing contracts of the platform can be configured by the voting of the token holders. This includes the scale of the fee, how much is charged from each trade, the share that liquidity providers will receive, and the share received by the token holders. Also, some auto listing contracts can be configured, and their configuration depends on the decisions of the token holders.
Yeah, okay, that's impressive. So, moving on now, let's talk about some of your major accomplishments. What are some of the things you've achieved? You know, it's just the start of a new year. And what plans have you for the year? Tell us, how do you plan to achieve them?
I need to highlight that we already did quite impressive progress on the standard development. So we are completing the updates of the Ethereum Foundation documentation. We are pushing the ERC-223 token standard to the final stage of its life cycle, I would say. We have created the token converter. This is a service that allows any ERC-20 token to be converted to ERC-223 to gain this advantage in security that ERC-20 lacks. And this is completed right now. We are building the exchange. It's still in the development stage. We are working on the core smart contracts. Then we will proceed to the deployment stage. We will first deploy on the testnet, approximately in May or June this year. There will be a significant testing period where we need to test the core smart contracts. Then we will be deploying the margin trading module, because the margin trading implementation is technically complicated and it needs to be tested separately. And by August or September, we plan to deploy on Ethereum mainnet. So this is the plan.
Okay, that sounds good. So, lastly, now let's talk about partnerships. Who are your partners, and what partnerships are you currently working on?
We have EOS Support as our partner. We also partnered with some smaller media and like influencers. We have a cross-chain deployment policy in place. We will be deploying our platform to all the EVM compatible chains that we can, hopefully. And we plan to cooperate with key opinion leaders in these new chains. So when we will be deploying to Binance Smart Chain, we will find a representative there. We already have EOS Support as our representative in EOS community. So we are looking for partners who can be representing DEX223 in the chains communities.
All right, that's cool. And that ends the first part of the AMA. Thank you so much for all the wonderful answers. Thank you so much for all those wonderful answers. And that ends the first segment. So, moving on now to do that now, so that if you've got further queries, they've got to answer your questions. So, moving on to Twitter questions now. This first one is about security. This user says, what security measures have you put in place to ensure that the overall system is safe?
I will say that we have quite significant security experience in smart contract development. So, I am the founder of a security auditing organization, we value the security audits and the bug bounties and the effect that they have on the overall security of the platform. So we just follow the standard processes of ensuring the security by adhering to public testing stage, completing the audits before the launch, performing the bug bounties, and so there will be a lot of test trading competitions to test both the overall operability of the platform and the functionalities of the margin trading module. The security of the smart contracts is a common part of the development, and this is completely fine for us right now because we already know how to deal with it. As for the security of operations, this is mostly related to the processes that users engage when they need to interact with the platform rather than the implementation of the platform itself. And the support of ERC-223 token standard allows to eliminate the risk of third-party involvement. Because when you trade ERC-20 tokens, actually there are some technical limitations with ERC-20 standard that place a requirement on the trader to authorize the contract to pull the tokens from them when they perform the trade. So if you want to trade ERC-20 tokens, first you need to authorize the contract to have access to your funds, and then you ask it to perform the trade. With ERC-223, we eliminate this risk of third parties because you don't need to authorize the smart contract to have control over your funds, and you simply deposit ERC-20 and perform the trade in one transaction. It also saves you approximately 15% of the gas fees. So the ERC-223 trades will be cheaper than ERC-20, and this improves the security of the trading process because it eliminates the need to authorize the contract to have control over your funds.
All right, thank you for that. And it takes us to the next Twitter question now, which says, what are the technical improvements or innovations that you have that the community can look forward to?
Our main technical advantages are the support of ERC-223 standard and the implementation of margin trading on chain, because there is no decentralized exchange that implements margin trading in the same way as we can do this. They mostly struggle with the hardware limitations and the not actually hardware limitations, but the computation requirements that liquidations of positions require. And we have developed a system of incentives that will allow us to bypass this problem and allow us to implement the margin trading in a decentralized way, so that nobody has control over the functionality of the platform, and even us as a development team, we don't have the control, and the operability completely depends on the users and those who provide liquidity and interact with the platform, and they share the same requirements, actually.
All right, that sounds good. So this next question from X is about the challenges or the risks. So let me just ask it straight anyway. This user says, what are the major challenges or risks that the project faces, and how does the team plan to address them?
Our main challenges are to make the platform secure. I said at the beginning, this is quite the default, but it is very important for any decentralized exchange. We witnessed a lot of hacks, like core finance hack and so on. So we need to ensure that we will be safe, and we know how to address it, because this is not something specific. Software security is well researched and quite understandable area. So we will handle it without any problems. This is just about time. And the main technical problem is the development of the margin trading module. This module will be a separate system of contracts. It will not be directly interconnected with the core platform contracts, but it needs to be developed in a way so that it is decentralized in first place and not dependent on the off-chain computation providers. And this is quite difficult. It is described in the white paper and in the documentation. This is a complicated system that allows us to bypass this problem with computations, because the smart contracts cannot perform the necessary computations on their own, and we still rely on some computation providers who can do this off-chain. But we have designed the system of instances that allows us to execute it in a decentralized way, even though some off-chain computation providers are still involved.
All right, that sounds good. And the next one from X now is about user experience. This user says user experience is a very important issue for most projects. So what are you doing to bring the best user experience, especially to new users?
Our platform is mostly offering some advanced trading features for professional traders. So there will be margin trading, there will be trading of some, I would say, low-profile assets listed through the auto-listing contracts, and this is definitely not what new users are looking for, and this is for some special class of users who can do their own research and who are hunting some high-risk, high-reward assets, and they need to be separated from the main part of the community who does not need these features. So we will be dividing the user interface into two sections. One will be for the general public, for general users who don't need to access margin trading or any, I would say, risky assets. And the other is for the professional users. I don't recommend crypto newbies to join the professional section, and it will be covered in warnings so that users understand what they are dealing with. Also, there will be guidelines, and we will be collecting users' feedbacks. There will be open GitHub threads and a special form in the interface so that users can provide their feedback to us and we can evaluate it. So basically, the main principle under the development of the interface is that we need to separate new users and professional traders from each other so that they don't cross.
All right, thank you for that. And that takes us to the last one from X now, which says, will token holders have the right to participate in the project's governance? And what kind of project decisions will they be able to vote on?
Mainly, token holders can vote on the configuration of the core contracts and the auto-listing contracts. With the core contracts, they can configure the amount of fees charged and how much of this fees goes to liquidity providers and to them as a revenue. With the auto-listing contracts, the token holders can govern the minimum fee required to anybody to list the token in this auto-listing contract. There will be many types of auto-listing contracts, so some of them can be governed and some others will have fixed requirements. That's it. Other than that, token holders have no voting powers in the system as of now. We are planning to expand the governance system to include some, I would say, additional features, but in the prototype and in the first release, this will be the only set of features that they can vote on.
Okay, thank you. And that ends the Twitter part as well. Thanks to everyone who sent in their wonderful questions. It was really a nice one. And that ends the Twitter part. And now we're going to take a few questions from the live chat. So before we move on, I would say this as a reminder again to everyone listening. Please do well to join the official Telegram group of the project we are currently having an AMA with, which is DX223. So guys, do well, DEX223 rather, do well to join the official social media. So I believe you're ready for the live segment, yeah?
That's good.
Perfect. So the first one that caught my attention from this live chat says, how long did it take you to put the project together? This is how I want to know, how long did it take you to put everything together and, come up with the project?
Well, I would say that the development of the ERC223 token standard started in 2017. It was not actively developed, but it was in the adoption, I would say, stage for many years. And my team also built the Soy Finance exchange before. So we have some experience in the decentralized exchange development. We already built one exchange that it's fairly operational and functional right now. As for the DEX223, we are already working on the project for, I would say, 6 months. But the core implementation of the contracts started something about a month ago. And we are planning to have a prototype in May and maybe June this year. After that, after the security audits and bug bounties and all this security-related stuff will pass, we will proceed to the deployment approximately in August or September, so something like this.
All right, thank you, and thank you for the answer to that question, which takes us to the next one. So, scrolling through. Okay, I think I would like this particular one. This user is asking, it says, are you planning to integrate NFTs into DEX223? NFTs currently seem to be a hot topic in the space right now. So, are you guys considering it anytime soon, or it's in your future plans?
We have considered implementing the NFTs, but this is not our top priority at the moment. We will be busy with the core platform implementation. After that, our main priority will be the multi-chain rollout, I would call it. We will be deploying to a lot of other chains, and it will be taking most of our time and efforts. So after that, we will probably consider the support of many new token standards like ERC 1155 and the NFT standard as well. And at this point, we will probably support NFTs, but it's too early to say. And we have a lot of milestones in our roadmap to fulfill first.
All right. That sounds good. So this next one says, the name DEX223 sounds quite intriguing. Is there any story behind it?
Well, this is the first DEX in the industry, I would say, because I was building it for Ethereum Classic. This was supposed to be the decentralized exchange for ERC223 tokens a long time before. But the development was suspended, and I switched to other projects for some years, and we decided to take the previous ideas, I would call it, and re-implement them right now, because the problem with security of the current DEXs is evident, and it became even more of a problem in 2023. So we started working on our DEX, and the DEX223 resembles the standard name because it's mostly based on ERC-223 token standard, and ERC-223 is the number of the improvement proposal on Ethereum that I submitted to fix the ERC-20 standard many years ago.
Okay, that's cool. So this next one says, what are your global expansion plans? This user wants to know how you plan to, expand in terms of marketing.
We are planning to deploy to multiple chains, and we see our niche in, I would say, under-adopted assets. The main problem that any token developer faces is that he needs to comply with some listing requirements on centralized exchanges. Like, in order to list your token on Binance, you need to have a company, you have to provide them with some documents, you have to pay, you have to fulfill a lot of requirements. In order to get listed on decentralized exchange, sometimes it depends on the team, and sometimes it takes you the same steps as the centralized exchange just to get on the interface. You can get listed on the contract, you can create a trading pair, you can technically list your token on the decentralized exchange like Uniswap, but in order to appear in the interface, you have to contact the team and they may ask you for some proofs of or anything they want you to provide. And our mission here is to establish a transparent listing process so that every developer can list a token on our exchange without interacting with the exchange team. And this will be a great tool for new tokens. And the meme coin market is also a market. It is growing, and there are some users who want to create some kind of risky assets, I would call it, and there are other users who want to trade it, and we are providing the toolchain for both of them. And at different chains, there can be no good centralized exchange like Uniswap on Ethereum, and on these chains, the new tokens are quite hard to develop because you need to get them listed somewhere, and if there is no good decentralized exchange, then you simply can't complete this task. And we will be taking the niche of this decentralized exchange on many chains because it takes us a lot less effort than the development of the core platform, because we will reuse the same codes, we will implement the same UI. It is not that difficult, but it will allow us to expand significantly.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. So this last one now says, okay, I think I got another one that's more interesting than this one I would like to read out. So let's just take this one. This one says, how do you foresee the future of DEX 223, and what long-term objectives are you working towards to fulfill your vision?
Well, we are the first ERC-223 compliant exchange, and we are expecting that the amount of lost funds with ERC-20 security flaws will only increase when the price and the global cycle of crypto market will move to the next phase. And at this point, if there will be any public accident, like somebody can lose a significant amount of money, it's always highlighted in the media. When something is hacked, there are a lot of articles published about the subject. So if such accident will occur with ERC-20 standard losses, then we will catch a lot of attention. And this is our great chance to grab a significant share of the decentralized trading market, because no other exchange supports ERC-223 right now, and the ERC-223 is exactly the the fix to ERC20 problems. So we are fixing the problem of lost money. At the same time, we are planning to form and take the niche of decentralized margin trading. We estimated to capture like 5% of the Uniswap trading volume after the launch stage. This is hard to evaluate if it is if we will accomplish it or not. But this would comply with our estimations right now. So the main milestones here are obviously the launch, then the multi-chain deployment and adoption on other chains. And after that, we will be pushing the security problems of ERC20 to convince the ecosystem to adopt the ERC223 token standard. And if we will succeed in this area, then we will be the first decentralized exchange that supports ERC223 standard. And it's quite reasonable to make this move because ERC20 is causing financial damage to the ecosystem.
All right, and that was the last question from the live chat. Thanks to everyone who sent in their questions. And we're sorry we could not pick all the questions because we did not have much time. So now it's time for us to wrap up the AMA. Let's have you give us some final closing words.
Well, I will thank everyone for the opportunity to share our vision and expose some problems that we are fighting right now. I'm always responding to the questions in the chat, so I would invite everybody to follow us on social media, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask in our Telegram channel.
Yes, guys, if you've got further questions, feel free to ask in the Telegram group. Thanks to everyone who joined, and do have a great day. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.